Do mail call, see if we got any of that. Come on, doggo. Boop. Let's see. No, not yet. Not yet. Hey, buddy. You silly big bald little thing. My God. Look at you. Goofy dog. Come on. Bring that ball over here. Yeah. Come on. Oh, man. Now where'd you do? You got into Funyuns. Oh my God. Fucking dog, really? You prick. Got into goddamn Funyuns. Why do you do that, bro? Fuck. Hey, buddy. Come on. Oh my God. Oh man. I'm definitely really super fucking out of it. What are you doing? Knock it off, pup. Damn dog. Man. Get myself a coffee and some of this other stuff. Because my goodness. That's all with this. Ooh, there's honey, strawberry in that. Yes, blueberries. Nice. Nice. Oh, fuck. Not gonna lie, I am definitely not 100. Not 100% whatsoever. Definitely need a coffee for sure. That's for sure. Oh, so good. Flavors and taste. I had some real bad food poisoning yesterday, so I am just like hardcore recovery, and I literally sustained myself with nothing but fucking water for like 24 fucking hours. So anything that has fucking flavor and taste and anything else that isn't just water, holy shit. Oh my God. I'm sipping that. Because goddamn. Now, get some of these strawberries eaten, but I definitely need to, like, at least have some sustenance. You know, at least weed-wise. Being a sober dober does not help. Ugh. Man, oh man. And while I was sick too, upside I was supposed to get my lower hand guard but never came in. Fucking brought me my stripper clips. Which, by the way, Sneeko, when you say watch my clips, these are fucking clips, you retard. Those are clips, Sneeko. This is a clip, Sneeko. What you were saying when you were saying watch my clips are fucking mags, you absolute dingbat dipshit. These are clips. And these go into mags, internally or otherwise, and then the mags feed these cartridges into the gun. That's gun anatomy, Sneeko. Though granted, considering that you're more of a Neanderthalic brain than I thought, I don't think you're gonna understand things like that. This is from last night. I definitely do not want this old rank stuff. Well, this isn't even from last night. This is like from 2 days ago now. There we go. That will be a lot better. I don't need this rankness. This will make me feel worse, not better. If we have this old shit. That ain't gonna be good. There we go. Okay. Oh man, oh man. You know, I didn't realize I should get some sort of background music. A little something, something.
U.S. military.
Get out of random YouTube short. Especially when I'm not even fucking clicking on you. There we go. Jesus Christ, there's a new Angus McSix song. 6 Caliber. Oh my god. Mastering reverse and now fucking 6 Caliber, dude. Not like Excalibur, but 6 Caliber. Jesus Christ, dude. The memes that this fucking dude. I definitely want to hear this. This was released earlier today, dude. This has like a very, like almost kind of glamish, you know, kind of vibe. Power glam, dude. There we go. Now there's fucking F-15s flying outside. Are we serious? I'm hearing those fuckers. Ba-ba-ba. There we go. Sushi too. Damn, fucking people on my group chat. Oh. God damn it. Fucking, there we go. There we go. Oh, that felt a lot better. Holy shit, that felt amazing. Like the tiny little like sore vibes I was just feeling in my stomach just totally went away. Open up, bitch. I want some amazingness. I want some fruit. Got good fucking fruity. Oh my god. Might as well just be hanging out on my Telegram chat instead. Jesus Christ. Just having more interaction with this right now, Jesus. Uh-oh. Oh my god. Okay. And this. There we go. There we go. There we go. Jesus Christ. Now, hopefully I don't necessarily have to be on that Telegram all consistently. Hi. And having this like one strawberry as like made my stomach feel all worn out now because it's digesting a single strawberry. Pretty much the first salt thing since fucking yesterday. Ugh. Strawberries are not for you, dude. It ain't for you. You silly little pup. Oh my lord. It's one of these weird cups where it does this shit. Son of a bitch. This is a little annoying. There we go. Yeah. Well, it has like that little bit of honey taste I was feeling. Or that is said on here. Oh, hell yeah. Having something that's honey-wise would actually be really good right about now. Dog! Damn it, Mutt! Damn, Mutt. There we go. Oh, this is gonna be some more solids. Ugh. Who knew, like, eating some shit right now would be so fucking exhausting? What do you want, dog? What's up, pup? You silly little doggo? What you need? Man, I definitely need to take my time about that. Man. I need to, like, really figure out how to avoid food poisoning. Because, Jesus. Because honestly, I mean, especially for all day yesterday, I was just, like, straight up, like, this is brutal. I mean, what made it, like, so horrible was mainly just, like, the fact that nothing but, like, goddamn stomach acid, and also to a certain point, water. Because, like, water and that. Because that was literally the only thing I could get down for a while. Ugh. So my stomach feels like it's about the size of a goddamn quarter. So I have to, like, slowly but surely consume all this. Ugh. Now I'm thinking I should be able to be at least ready and, you know, good enough today for work. Supposed to yesterday, but luckily, I mean, when I went down there to go grab this shit, I went over to check out of my department, everybody was like, "Oh my god, are you okay? You know, this, like, we know you never all, like, call in, so blah 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 blah." And I'm just like, I'm recovering right now. I'm in recovery mode. And hopefully, you know, later I should be at least well enough to be in, you know, and at least do some shit. So, I just need to recover with some fruits and a coffee and more food and shit. But also at least take my time with it. Ugh. Let's see if taking a little toke will help out here. I'll probably need to clean this out too here in a sec. Well, later. I'm not exactly in a mood to work that hard yet. Man, if that's the case, Jesus Christ. I'm probably just gonna take it super fucking easy today. Let's see if I can get this puppy loaded up. I'm starting to realize like how much of a little bit of a pain in the ass these fuckers can be. Shit. Come on. You little fuck. Come on, get in there. That's a good song to listen to right now. Let's get that one. Where'd it go? God damn it. Fucking hell. Where'd that song go? Where did it go? There it is. Cool. Alright, bitch. Come on. Get in there. Get your little ass in here. It's all burn together. Some things definitely starting to get that energy back. Two, 4, 6, and 2 more. There we go. Cool. Now that can actually make loading magazines easier. There we go. And I am just like in that weird vibe where it's like I got energy. Because frankly, like, I've been sleeping so much, you know, like in between me suffering, that like my body's in just like this weird vibe where like my brain is all awake, but my body's still just like worn the fuck out. Yeah, there we go. Damn. My Telegram chat needs to, like, quit popping off right now. I just realized, isn't, like, today supposed to be, like, the day Trump fucking supposed to be arrested or something? Is that actually gonna, like, fucking happen? Because I'm still not exactly believing that. It was basically literally just like predominantly I mean, it was like predominantly like, you know, made into a big deal just on the virtue that Trump said something. Like, that doesn't exactly mean much in my mind. I suppose that his supporters will be all rabble-rousey today, but I mean, even then, like, from my understanding, not everybody on the right is exactly in favor of a potential, like, insurrection to Electric Boogaloo. Like, even, you know, Trump's loyal cronies, they're just like, don't be violent because they're just gonna, you know, say we're terrorists and this and that and blah blah blah, so, you know, don't do that. They're kind of like implying that, like, if violence does happen, that it's just gonna be Antifa or like a PSYOP or people that don't represent the movement and shit like that. Just kind of like a Jan 6. They're essentially just kind of preempting things a little bit. If, you know, shit does happen, which, possible. I love strawberries. Shit's so good. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Move my hand back and fucking tray almost decided to go with it. No, don't do that. That would not have been cool. Dios mío. So much better. Oh. Ugh. That was like the most weirdest, like, satisfying burp for as weak as it was. And honestly, I think it's just because my stomach just is, like, so shrunk right now. And now that I'm actually getting everything kind of like reactivated in there a little bit, it's starting to kind of, you know, stretch itself up a little bit now. But oh my god. Like, the effort it's taking to just like slowly but surely eat some fucking strawberries and like a parfait oats and berry thing. It's just like, Jesus Christ. And sipping this fucker. And the tea too, like, ugh. It's definitely an oof. Just an oof mode, that's for sure. Hi, little fluffy boy. Well, I also really like that. This little sweet boy. You know, he kind of knew I wasn't feeling good, and this little puppo has just been hanging out, fucking, just keeping, you know, keep next to me and all that stuff. Hey, Venom. I want to make you mine. Yeah, I'm probably, honestly, not exactly in the greatest, you know, vibe for that. Not because, like, ugh, not in the mood, but because, ugh, recovery mode. I need recovery mode right now. Feel like shit, I've been digging through a storage unit. Dude, man, you probably don't feel like shit as much as I do, dude. I'm literally in recovery mode from, like, puking my fucking stomach out all day yesterday. Frankly, I did, like, I'm still in recovery mode, frankly. I'm still trying to, like, get my bearings. But at least now I'm not sustaining myself with just fucking water. Now I got, like, strawberries, a parfait with oats and berry thing, which I'm slowly but surely getting into. I'll also have a burrito for later. And I got tea. I was just saying, yeah. Just wanted to say something. I don't know. I'm still kind of in like a, you know, kind of like mood. I didn't even mean to kind of like. My mom called me earlier. I was like, huh, what's up? Yeah. And eventually she just kind of was talking about. I don't even remember what. She's like, so you know you. And it's like, do you think you could check out this thing and that and blah blah blah? And I'm just like, now and like my brain was like, like it immediately was just like. Shit to do, no. And I was like, oh my god, I'm barely, I'm like, I just woke up and this and that, blah, 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 blah. I was just like, I kind of low-key snapped, I was like, what the fuck? Small, oh my god. Can it be brought up later? Like, she wants me to run the stuff my stepdad does by you because she says all the shit about him bragging about women's circle. What about, like, well, don't you already do that? Or are you meaning that she's, like, or what? Don't you already do that, though? Because you already tell me about the absurd fucking degenerate shit that he does. Yeah, I guess I've already been kind of doing that. I'm assuming there's probably just extra details or other details or something. Yeah, she doesn't want to hear about his antics unless it endangers us financially or physically. Well, I guess that makes sense. I mean, if anything, it's probably just more important for her to just, like, figure out, just getting the fuck out of there and hearing about this random side bullshit, which really, honestly, doesn't really mean too much outside of just, like, well, what a fucking scum cunt. You know, so it's, like, beyond that, you know, it just kind of adds a little bit more of a burden to it, I suppose, so yeah. I mean, obviously, unless there's, like, some sort of a financial or, like, physical endangerment about it. That's sad news. That's funny. He's going to E620. Dude, so he is absolutely... Dude. So your stepdad knows what fucking furries are. Oh my fucking god. Oh my god. He knows what the fuck furries are. Holy shit, because he's good. Like, dude, that's like a well-known, like, furry Rule 34 site. And he goes there specifically for the feral stuff. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Oh my... Man, it was one thing where you found out, like, some other shit, but now he's like... I made a furry joke in front of him a while back. I don't think that's your fault. Dude, I have a strong feeling he's been going there for a while. Oh my god, dude. Wow. Dude, what is that? Oh my god, dude, what's... Oh my god, bro, what the fuck? What the fuck? It's... wow. My lord. It's like, I just find that genuinely really amusing to me, honestly. It's just like, that fucking nub, you know, goes off about all this, like, degenerate shit about how, like, oh, you know, like, how, like, the homosexual agenda, this and that, and everything else in fucking between. And it's just, like, pretty much, like, so much, you know, of, like, the shit he delves into is pretty much the exact same shit that he freaks out and bemoans about. Well, actually, if anything, is worse, I would argue. Dude, even, like, later tonight, I probably will also still be, like, in recovery mode. But I don't know, we'll see. You guys been torturing me of gospel country. It's literally the most insipid stuff. I imagine it is the most insipid bullshit. I really don't want to have to be hearing that. Please, don't have me listen to that. Like, it might, like, halter my recovery. I don't need that. Holy shit, motherfucker, he's alive and the old Lord is alive and well. Well, yeah, I'm awake. I mean, I'm in recovery mode right now. Have a bunch of food. It's actively making you the urge to self-delete. Well, I'm trying to get Nove and Jess to get ready to go. Oh, is that today? Shit. Man, if it wasn't for the fact that I already went to work and said that I should be okay enough, you know, to head in, I probably would have just said fucking... Be like, I got some money, fuck it. You will later tonight. Dude, honestly, please, I genuinely don't want to have to listen to that. Can that be like, I don't know, tomorrow? Can that be postponed for just maybe like a little bit? I'm saying I'm not going to listen to it. I'm saying that I will later. Just maybe not today. Give me like a 24-hour period. I need recovery mode from these high brain ideas. From these big brained high tech ideas. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm in recovery mode. I should have put like whole Dave Rubin's entire quote as my title. I'm in recovery mode from these big brained ideas. Extreme painful to listen to. Yeah, and frankly, I don't want to puke again. Like, honestly, like, my stomach has just been so fucked from yesterday that, like, even though I am feeling better eating, there's still, like, this back of my body feeling of, like, you still want to puke, bitch. And I think it's just because my stomach is re-stretching back to where it was, you know? After me just, like, just being, like, brutalized. So, I mean, yeah. That's why I've been, like, slowly just bit by bit eating this shit, because I can't really just, like, chug it all down right now. I mean, I could, but then I might puke it back up later, and I don't want to do that. Like, I'm avoiding that. So, like, I don't want to do that again. I've done it too much already. And when I was, like, chugging water to kind of help make me feel better, which did, like, even then, my stomach would be like, no, get this out now. And it would just, it would, at least that wasn't really that bad, but Jesus Christ, I mean... It was just gnarly. It wasn't, like, painful at that point. Like, for the first most chunk of the day it was. But as soon as I was able to at least get water in me, that's where it wasn't really as painful. Outside of just, like, yeah, I'm still, like, you know, sick, fucking stomach in pain. Ugh, kill me. I'm, like, you know, mode. But it's sometime in the middle of the night, eventually that went away. Like, I was able to, like, chug a bunch of water eventually. Kind of be okay, and, you know... that stopped, and then by the time I was like 8, I could not go back to bed for the fucking life of me, even though I seriously wanted to go back to sleep. So I've been up honestly since 8 now at this point, while having like an hour and a half to 2 hour like intervals of sleeping and getting up and again, and chugging a bunch of water in hopes that maybe makes me feel better, which does. Your shirt shipped, and ironically it's from Portland. Nice. Yeah, no, I showed you this, but like, so the same website I got my, was supposed to get my East German lower handguard, I got my fucking stripper clips, you know, from the same website, and these came in, which I loaded them up already, you know, so I can load these in my magazines. And I was saying it earlier, but it's just like, hey, Sneeko, even though he will literally never see this, and I frankly don't give a fuck, these are clips. Like, for any gun anatomy aficionado, they will know that these things are clips. These what hold the cartridges together. And then you put these in magazines, which could either be internal or external, like mine, and then you just load those fuckers in there. That's what these are. I did not know stripper clips were reusable. Yeah. Yeah, basically, well, I'm gonna regret this, but you just, like, you know, you hold them down like that, and they pop out like so. And that's how you load them into your magazine, the mag, and then you can reuse these. Either you can fling them off because they're easy to replace, or you can keep them and reload them later. But notice how, like, there's these little, like little, bracket things, I guess, like this thing. That's what holds them in there. So you have to, like, press down on it and then put the bullets in there like so. It's kind of a pain in the ass to deal with. Not even gonna lie. A one and done type thing? I don't know. That might be video game ignorance. Yeah, that's kind of video game ignorance. Well, honestly, mainly because, well, if you think about it, stripper clips aren't necessarily something you absolutely desperately need, you know, on the battlefield, so to speak. Like, in the battlefield, they are more likely to be a one and done, in a sense, because you can, once you're back at your base, or, you know, once you reload and rearm and get resupplied, you'll just have fresh stripper clips at that point. So, I mean, you know, in a way, like, unless you're, like, in a guerrilla warfare, paramilitary, like, you know, militia style type of thing, like you're in the Viet Cong or some shit, you know, chances are you're not going to be just, like, flinging these off, you know, and, you know, waiting for the next batch of ammo to come in, you know, so you can get more clips. You see them more often in World War II and World War I games, especially with rifles. Well, actually, the M1 Garand, that is a clip. That's a very rare exception where what you're loading into a rifle is just straight up a clip. You know, because, again, like, I mean, the Garand uses clips that are internal to the magazine that you load in there, and that's how the bullets, you know, are charged. And that's why when you shoot the last cartridge, which is 8 for a Garand, it makes that very signature ping sound that everyone knows and loves with the Garand. And frankly, literally every single noise off of the Garand is such a sexy noise. I'm just gonna say it. Every sound that comes off the Garand is just fucking beautiful. I so badly want an M1. Dude, M1... Was the clip being injected? That is. No, that's what it is. When you fire the last round, that clip... Bing, is the clip being ejected out. And honestly, most soldiers hated that. So they usually will fire 7 rounds with an M1, and then pull the last one back, so that last round with the clip, you know, just kind of pops out, so they can just load that one bullet in the chamber and just reload another clip, you know, and just hold on to the clip and make less noise. Like, honestly, a lot of GIs and a lot of soldiers who their main rifle was the M1 Garand, like, it's not like, you know, the distinct sound of that ping wouldn't, you know, made it any easier for the enemy to see them, or, you know, find where they are, because they're being, because they're also shooting the fucking thing. But it makes it a very loud pinpoint sound, to where it's a little bit more, well, pinpoint in comparison to if you're shooting something, which is like a big, you know, and it travels. While that distinct ping is, you know, sticking to one area. You know, while the bullet and the sound and everything from that, it travels. So it's a little different from that. I was 15 in scouts that got to shoot a bunch of World War II, World War I air guns. You fucking bastard. You know how badly I want to do that? Honestly, you want to see some just like gun ASMR? Dude. Recognize any? I'm just kind of curious if you recognize any of these, actually. Out of curiosity. Tommy gun's heavier than it looks. Oh, I know. Dude, Tommy gun's a fucking bowl. So, like, that thing is heavy. But you recognize this one at all? It's a French rifle. Actually, well, it says it there. It's an 1886-93. It's a Lebel. What's cool about these is that it's an internal 2 magazine. Awkward, though, I will admit. An Argentinian Mauser 1891. Oh, yeah. And notice that those are stripper clips that he has right there. See, what he's loading into these are stripper clips. And the one he just loaded in with that one is an internal stripper clip type of magazine like load that, you know, some rifles can take. Here, I can show it again with this one. So it's an Italian Carcano 1891, I believe. And it's loaded with strip clips, but all of it goes in there. So some rifles, you know, would have stripper clips, you know, will have these bad boys where the clip itself also goes into the internal magazine. So it's like, at least especially back in the day, you know, like when it came to internal magazines and stripper clips and stuff like that, outside of like things like Call of Duty and like little like video games that kids would have and shit, I mean, it, you know, or like growing up or whatever the fuck, I feel like this is probably where some of the misunderstanding with like magazines and clips started from, was the fact that a lot of weapons like the M1 Garand or the Italian Carcano 91 like would have stripper clips also fed into the internal magazine as well. I think that might, you know, have been like one of the bigger slip-ups, because people sometimes see a rifle that, you know, will actually put the clip inside, like, you know, the Garand, like I said. Oh, Mosin. Oh, yeah. I need a Mosin. 1891 Carcano Cavalry. Fucking beautiful, too. Oh! I love those pullbacks, those straight pulls. Oh, yeah. I love me a straight pull rifle. Chilean Mauser. Swedish Mauser. I love that little sound. It made like a little drum beat. Oh, Austrian-Hungarian. No straight pull. Oh yeah, dude, Mauser rifles are fucking pieces of art. Like, here's their German Mauser 1898. This is the original to the Carabiner 98, which would eventually become that, you know, the Car 98 is what I was talking about. Like, that's what the K means, is Carabiner 98. So these were, you know, the originals, the Gravera 1898s, and then they became the Carabiner 98s, or the Car 98 or K98. And honestly, like, dude, like, their iron sights are fucking just yeah, way better. At least in my opinion, especially. Like, Germans just, especially back in the day, I mean, you know, say what you want, but goddamn, they were masters at, like, you know, weapon engineering. Like, not only did they, like, you know, make a weapon, but they also made, like, a piece of art, almost. Turkish Mauser. Notice how, like, most of these are Mausers, by the way. Mauser was a big dog back in the day. They fucking just, like, sold patents and licenses to all sorts of fucking, you know, countries. Argentina, Chile, Turkey, Iran might come up here, I think. Springfield, 1903. That one look familiar? This is the U.S. 30-06. Springfield, 1903. And now my dad has one of these. I've seen this before. I've seen my dad have one of these. Well, not holding it, but, you know, I've seen his shotgun and rifles, and this is one of them. He has a Springfield 1903. I think it is sporterized, but goddamn, I still want it. Because he talks about his 30-aught, then he has one that's scoped, and he has one that isn't, and they're both bolt actions. And I'm assuming the one that isn't would be the Springfield that he has sporterized. And then he has the, you know, just a regular, like, bolt action Remington 30-06 type of rifle and shit. They had original STG-44 in working condition. They had the licensed instructor fire off some rounds for us. Oh, nice. Well, hey, you want to know what's good? They don't have to worry about it anymore. Pomelo State Armory literally reproduced and is now going to eventually start selling a PSA STG-44 now. And I think it's going to be in 7mm curves like it originally was. Like 7.92. I'm pretty sure. So, and obviously they're going to sell the ammo that comes with it. So, you might not have to worry about it too sooner, dude. Because as soon as I see what the price is on those bad boys, oh my god, I'm saving up for one, like, as soon as I fucking can, bro. Arisaka, Model 38. Leon Fields, gotta love him. You could just load 2 stripper clips in that son of a bitch. Ooh. Dude, look at that stripper clip. It's like partly made out of leather. Oh, beautiful straight pull too. Oh. I forgot exactly which one it is. It's a 1917 model type of thing. Keeps coming at me with this line of bullshit saying autistic mentally people are prohibited by law from owning firearms. That's retardedly bullshit. There's plenty of people who are autistic that have firearms and are openly in the medical system diagnosed, including me, that have firearms. And when I know the NRA would go apeshit at the loss of potential customers, yeah. You know what? I'd call the NRA about it. You know, call them up, and like even, like have it on a speaker, be like, hey, I'm somebody who potentially, is, like I'm someone who's autistic. Would I still be able to potentially have a firearm, even though I'm, not a risk to myself or others, and like don't have any, like anything in my background that would hold me liable? I guarantee you, they're gonna say, you can get a gun. There's nothing stopping you. So, like, I guarantee you, that's what they're gonna say. Have it on speaker for him to hear it too. Be like, God damn it. Oh yeah, here's that Iranian Mauser. Dude, this thing is beautiful. Like, and also, I think this one, oh yeah, you can kind of see it there right in front of the bolt. Like, they have this really beautiful, like, Persian seal on it. Like, I would love to have an Iranian Mauser, honestly. Really beautiful looking rifle. Like, kind of see it there. Yeah. That's why I like these type of weapons are like works of art. Yeah, see, here's this Swiss K31. And it's got, like, that Swiss shield with the Swiss symbol on there. It's just, like, it's fucking beautiful. Oh. Here's the Car 98. Mauser Car 98K. Oh. Beautiful. Ah. The Soviet Union, yes. The Mosin. Beautiful. Now that Car 98 looks familiar, because that's a World War II era. And then that's the Mosin from World War II. So it's kind of going through the eras. As, like, I want to fire a Mosin. Oh my god. I've held one. I've, tinkered with them before. I have never fired one, though. But goddamn, I'd love to. I really like the rear sight. Look at that. It kind of has, like, this really cool, like, kind of zigzag type of thing going on there. That's really, like, distinguished. So, like, especially at, like, night or during the day and stuff like that, you can at least, still visibly see it. And that's actually a really cool looking rear sight, honestly. At least on this particular Mosin. I don't usually see that on a lot of Mosins, and this one does have that. So it might be like a marksman, like, variant that would, maybe like during the Finnish fronts and stuff, maybe like in Leningrad or something. Just because, given the environment, it probably would be useful. I know I need to start with something like 9mm. I mean, honestly, the 45 cal ain't really that bad. I mean, you just have to, like, have a decent, like, controlled grip. And especially for 1911, if you want to do it old school, you kind of want to do it like this a little bit, where you kind of have it out like that, where you're kind of, shooting off to the side like so. Because a lot of that recoil inertia just kind of travels all the way through your body and actually kind of has a little bit of an easier, kind of control. I mean, the pistol will still pop up, but, like, to bring it back down and is a lot more of a fluid motion in comparison if you were doing like this, where it's going to kind of jolt way back. Like, while this is kind of a lot more of a fluid motion, where you can kind of bring it back on sight. That's why, especially back in the day, if you see a lot of like soldiers or officers and shit, firing their pistol, it's always kind of like that a little bit, because because at least at the time, that's how they were trained to do recoil control of pistols at the time. It's not taught like that anymore, but if you want to do it old school status, do it like that. I think this is the MAS 36, if I remember correctly. The MAS 36. This is the Arisaka 99. Claiming a revolver never misfire or jam. I mean, while he's not technically wrong, I mean, revolvers can fucking definitely misfire. I mean, like Alec Baldwin, for example, because he was a fucking idiot, tinkering around with a gun, pulled the trigger. Also, you have times where, like, the revolver's, like, hammer's cocked back, and sometimes there will be a discharge. Like, revolvers can misfire if you're exceptionally being an idiot with them. Like Al Baldwin. But, like, when it comes to jamming, yeah, I doubt you're gonna have a revolver jam. Unless you have something in the barrel, but then at that point, that fucker's gonna explode, not jam. For pistols, sure, but, like, modern pistols are way better in comparison to, like, how they were back in the day. Like, if I was to get a Luger or something like that, like a PO8 Luger, sure, like, it's probably going to be liable to jam. It's just there for cosmetic, like, fancy, like, yeah, look at this bad boy, this historic art piece gun, basically. But if I was getting, like, a 1911 or, like, a modern pistol, like a SIG or some shit, like, unless you, like, just straight up did not take care of that thing, like, honestly, chances are it's not going to jam. Like, I mean, like I said, unless you just straight up don't take care of it, like, it's probably not going to jam. I think it's stuck in the 1900s when everything was shittier. Well, yeah, I guess. Well, because back then, when it came to, like, military, like, grade type of shit, it was mostly built for simplicity's sake. Like, as long as it functions and, a soldier can use it. Like, I mean, it's not really necessarily means quality. Like, I mean, so all in all, yeah, I'd say that, like, this, it's like there were definitely a lot of weapons and a lot of things back in the day that were definitely shit. But what we're calling what stood out back in the day, still stands today. Like shit, like the M14, for example, there's an EBR version that isn't really that used as much anymore by the military service, but still gets used occasionally. And also, there's, like, like the M16/AR receiver, like, platforms, including AK platforms. Not just talking the AKM or an M16, the, A-series models and shit like that. I'm talking about just, like, the platform across the board. Because down you got, like, AK-101, 102, 3, 4s, 105s. And then you got, like, the AK-15, AK-16, just all these fucking... just all these different weapons and shit. It's because, like, what was quality back then stood the test of time, essentially, and has been modernized into ways that have become far more efficient. He has a couple of black powder silver revolvers. Nice. They're beautiful guns, but holy shit, did they produce a lot of smoke when fired? Well, yeah, it's black powder. That's what they do. That's exactly what black powder does. They're fun, though. And honestly, I definitely, want to get myself a couple as well. And from my understanding, you could order those online and have them shipped to you without necessarily having to go for a background check and stuff, because they're not officially like a firearm in a traditional sense of like, carries cartridges and stuff like this, right? Like, so it doesn't necessarily go through, like, firearm regulation background procedures, like, you would have to if I was getting, like, an actual, like, 38 revolver or fucking a rifle or something like that. Which I find a little odd, to be frank. It's just like, I could just buy a fucking black powder revolver or rifle or some shit, and I technically could just get that with no problems whatsoever. But to get, like, an AK or a bolt action or a shotgun or something like that, or a pistol, that fires cartridges, it's like, I have to. It's just like, shouldn't it be consistent? frankly consistent with having to go for some backgrounds and stuff like that. Yeah, but dive into it. Oh, kind of. I mean, because because I had that food poisoning and shit. Like, I did start a new game where I kind of like started like a hardcore like pro worker anarchist like slave revolt. Like the pre-FTL one. I got to the point where I was starting to expand. I got science ships and construction ships, but then I started nodding off to sleep, and then so I was going like, all right, I'll go into this tomorrow or something like that, and then tomorrow came, and then I was just fucking just sick. So I mean, I got like somewhat into it, but not enough to really say anything about it, because it was just kind of like a slow start basically. Because I think I did the one where it's like the pre-FTL, it was essentially like not necessarily like Bronze Age type of shit, whatever the fuck. A bunch of different pops, interesting. Yeah, because obviously there's like a more predominant population, which would be your main race, and then obviously there's like a bunch of other races that kind of hanging out with you. Which, so it kind of, gets, the whole, like, oh shit, are there others out there? Like, that kind of gets rid of that notion, because there already are. It's just about, like, how do we get ourselves, going again, and, like, kind of reestablish a government and shit. Which, basically, I'm starting, like, kind of I don't know, like, the CNTFEI style, like, anarchist type of thing, I suppose. I'll have to show you when I, like, get back into it. Actually, take a few swigs of tea here. Shared burden civic. Yeah, dude, I basically literally did the exact same thing. It's like it's named after the planet it's on. It's like the Favarian People's Republic, from like Favara, or whatever the fucking planet's name is. It was just something I randomized, so it's not like super important, I guess, but I mean, I just did that. It's like, and it wasn't necessarily just People's Republic. I think it was like the freed peoples, because I wanted to at least make it a little bit more specific about like we're fanatical anti-slave abolition, like slave abolitionists basically. Like, if there's any society that is like allowed slaves in society, then we're going to be fanatically militant against them. Like, I basically have like fanatic, egalitarian, and partially militant. Just because I kind of wanted to make it like, because we were victims, of oppression, we want to, release and liberate others from oppression. Because we were able to break our shackles, and, well, let's help break the shackles for everyone else. So I kind of want to go for that metric. This art you did ensures two specific empires spawn regardless of what you said to spawn rate to. Well, hey, I'm assuming MSI ain't a payback origin empire. So kind of like a payback origin. So I'm assuming that's like, you can get payback from the slavers that being the people you escaped from. Oh, the main slaver. Okay. So it's the payback, more about like, an empire that helps you. I guess, I don't mind necessarily, exploring this part of it, because this is the first gameplay I'm doing with this new DLC, so it gives me an idea of gets me an idea about what to look forward to. This is guys looking back and forth like. It's like, what's human doing? Gets objective to destroy MSI, and you get modifiers to like you because you're also MSI victims. Ah. I wonder if there's like at least like a empire that, or I'm assuming that like, for the other races that are kind of like with you and shit, I'm assuming that, like, at least for those, MSI is a megacorp that use slave labor. Well, hey, I know exactly what I'm going to do when I see those motherfuckers. I'm going to see if I can also potentially, like, you know, ally with other, you know, like, democratic societies that might be around as well. Like, because at least, like, with my principle, with, like, my, like, I guess, like, republic or whatever the fuck I'm going with so far, like, I want it to essentially be, like, you know, when it comes to at least societies, whether they're, like, you know, maybe, like, not necessarily outright democratic or not necessarily outright, like, like, welcoming, so to speak, as long as they don't have, like, you know, slavery as the main point of, like, you know, part of their policies, and it's, you know, I can, you know, have a little bit more of a handoff approach. Because I want to use, like, my more military focuses on doing abolitionism, so. Find the home roads of your various pubs. Cool. Yeah, because honestly, you know, I think that would also kind of help expand and actually really kind of solidify a new, you know, good if you find them alive and bad if they're the bad one if they're not. So sometimes, you know, these homeworlds might be dead and desolate because they were probably wiped out. Fuck, dude, that's brutal. That's some grimdark shit right there, damn. They kind of did some, like Warhammer 40k shit, like, with this a little, from what it sounds like, because damn, dude. The nuclear apocalypse happens a lot now. Damn. Hey, boob. Within the fear of the dark, you have to, you get in your home. No, with that origin, I've not seen it really space at FTL. They might get to nuclear age and blow themselves up. Damn. Hey, little boob. Little puppo. Hey, doggo doggo. Speaking of very dark, you get by the end of the event chain without an extra civic slot or a fanatical purifier. Huh. Which I assume basically means they, you know, become... that's kind of what you were talking about from earlier, as being like purifiers or like, you know, guardians of the, you know, galaxy type of thing, or whatever the fuck. And there we go. Or just set more towards becoming the worst versions of yourself. Damn. But it has options for showing compassion to housing. Here, let's see what other little things go on tube. If there's anything worth a shit. Let's see. Man, it's a lot about, like, from the last 24 hours about, like, oh, is Trump gonna get, like, arrested, blah, 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 and today is supposedly the day. But, like, but has anything happened yet? I mean, it's because, like, I mean, it just seems like all that, but nothing happened today. Definitely, you know, it's a new artifact weapons, so extremely hard to get. But when you do, they up your fleet's power to hundreds of thousands. Holy shit! You get most of them from archaeological sites. Nice. Fucking dope. Yeah. Boo boo. Hey, doggo. Hey, Pupple. Goof. For example, arm points, shield points for free, no power costs. Cool. That's it. Paw. There you go. Goofy little dog. Just a goofy little puppo. Just a sweet and goofy little puppo. Yeah, there is not, like, jack shizzles for the Tubio. I would expect, you know, something, all things considered, when it came to, this whole supposed wrath. Yeah.
This morning.
Trump calls for protests get muted, reaction from supporters. Yeah, there's just, like, not much at all. I mean, all things considered, you would think there would be, you know, there'd be some bullshit, but guess not. Guess now. You would have thought. But nope. Doggo. Doggo. What you doing? What you doing, doggo? Yo, pupple. Oh, what you doing? Gotta feed a horse, so if you're not gone by the time back then, nah, I'll probably still be here for a little bit. I don't have to go to work till 3, and honestly, my coworkers were all just like, don't worry about it if you're late, we're not gonna worry about it. So, shouldn't be too big of a deal. Let's see if the mail actually came, all things considered. So I'll be right back, go see about that. See if wandering around actually kind of helps me feel a little better. fucking silly. Shoo, little pup. Hey, mail's not come yet. Ay. Definitely get a little bit more of this parfait thing in me. Let's see how. Howard Stern wants Jon Stewart to run for president? Not usually finding myself agreeing with Howard Stern on much, but yeah, I kind of tend to agree. Yes, you should. You should murk some bitches. Dude, Jon Stewart would just be one of those type of motherfuckers that just want to give a shit. He would just bulldoze anybody. God, fucking... What the fuck? Why are these, like, connected?
He's been owning Republican politicians, shining light on issues that have been propagandized heavily by our mainstream media. And on top of that, last week, he utterly owned Larry Summers. So this has led to one individual making a conclusion about what Jon Stewart should do, specifically where he should take his advocacy next. And that is the presidency. Howard Stern is saying not only that Jon Stewart should run for president, but that he owes it to the country to do just that. As The Hill explains, if President Biden chose not to run for re-election, Stern said on his eponymous SiriusXM show, then he figured out who should run for president on the Democratic side. His name is Jon Stewart, Stern said. That guy is so fucking smart and bright and also witty and really measured when he takes on a debate. Stern told listeners about the Apple TV Plus the problem with Jon Stewart host. He knows how to talk, and you know, he would work his ass off to be a good president, Stern, 69, nice, said. I'm telling you, he could also win because people like Jon Stewart, Stern said, noting how Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky was a comedic actor before entering the political world. Praising Stewart's advocacy work on Capitol Hill, Stern said, remember when John went to Congress and lobbied for the 9/11 first responders? Watch when he talks to politicians and he confronts them, Stern said. Watch the guy, he just makes a lot of good points. He owes it to this country, Stern said. The guy would be terrific, and I think he'd do it, Stern added. So, for those of you who...
I mean, honestly, I tend to agree. Could be worse than Obama. Dude, dude, he'd be so much better than Obama. Like, honestly, I argue he would at least be equivocal to maybe a Bernie Sanders or even better. Honestly, I'm even willing to say that. Hey!
Long-time listeners to the show, you know that I have...
Hey! Dude! Stop it. Don't be doing that. No. Don't be boofing. Don't be a boof. Anyway.
A very strong rule against celebrities and comedians getting involved in politics. I almost...
To what we could have got Mitt Romney. Like, that's supposed to make, like, the current situation better.
Always shoot it down immediately.
Dude, like, fuck Obama. He's like a corporate piece of shit, fucking stuffed suit, imperialistic dog. Like, I mean, you know, fuck him. Like, he's never gonna get any fucking defense from me, honestly. Because a lot of his is, you know, crony status quo bullshit, and if anything, acceleration of, like, military profits and shit like that has, you know, led to the outcomes that we have. Like, it doesn't really mean shit to me. Would have been Bush round two. Mitt Romney, that fucking do-nothing shit. Like, he just would have continued, he just wouldn't have been like any other stereotypical Republican. He wouldn't have been like a Bush level.
With that being
said, Bush was exceptional.
I would make an exception for Jon Stewart. I think that being an effective politician also...
Could have been a lot worse. and we're past that point. We've passed the point of no return on that one, so it doesn't mean anything to me.
You to be an effective communicator, and Jon Stewart by far is one of the most effective communicators in our country. I mean, and I say this as somebody who, growing up, learning about politics, I learned about it from Jon Stewart, watching The Daily Show every single night, and he continues to impress. Now, I don't necessarily know that his politics would be as radical as mine if I saw an entire fleshed-out policy platform, but having said that, though, within the confines of our terrible neoliberal system, do I think that he could actually make a difference if he were to be elected president? Yeah, I do. I think that he could get a lot of things done. Having said that, though, I don't think that any one politician is a panacea. I've kind of moved past this thinking that one politician can and will save us. I think that those days...
Yeah, honestly, like, the idea we'll have, like, a unique, like, set of, conditions where we get, like, one politician, like an FDR type, to come in to help us out. Like, I definitely think those days are gone, but I do feel like that at least having somebody like Jon Stewart potentially, being in there in the mix of things, and potentially even being a president, I think would legit, like, set the path towards at least, getting fucking progress done for once. Instead of just consistently being held back and just regressing further and fucking further.
Are gone. I think that things are too bad for all of our solutions to be solved with just one individual. Real change has to come from the bottom up and not the top down. Having said that, though, I think that Jon Stewart, if he chose to run, could get a lot of good accomplished. But the question is, would he do it? Howard Stern says yes. But Jon Stewart already answered this question. So last year, after he basically lobbied Congress by shaming Republicans into supporting health care for veterans, well, there was an op-ed that said he should run for president, and he was very clear. He took to Twitter to write, no thank you. So he doesn't want to do it. He's already made this clear. But, if I might add, I think that somebody who doesn't want to be president is really the best person, because there's so many people who seek out public office not necessarily because they have this belief system that they're adhering to or they're doing it for altruistic reasons. I think that most politicians, and this is a generalization, but I think it's true, I think that most politicians run for public office for self-aggrandizement. Somebody who doesn't want to be in public office is really the best person, because they're not thinking 2 to 3 steps ahead about their own career, what they can do when they get out and become a lobbyist for an industry that helped them get elected and then that they represented in Congress. We need someone who doesn't want to be president. And that's why I think that there was such a large amount of appeal for someone like Bernie Sanders. Even though he's run for president twice and is considering a third run if Biden doesn't run, it's clear that Bernie Sanders never wanted to do this. Back in 2016, actually 2015, before he announced his 2016 run, he was trying to get Elizabeth Warren to take on Hillary Clinton, but she didn't want to do it, so he chose to step up. And
if anything, that caused Elizabeth Warren to, get a little jealous and actually kind of, bend the knee towards Hillary and shit, and actually, fucking stab Bernie in the back, later in 2020.
He had
I want power, so not so I can radically reshape Bernie, I promise.
Political ambitions. Don't you think he would have pursued them at an earlier age, not when he was in his 70s? And you see, not wanting to be in power, that made a difference on Bernie Sanders' campaign. I mean, as difficult as it is for him to win in a Democratic primary with all of this media propaganda, you can tell that he actually cares about the issues that he's talking about. And even if I have my disagreements with Bernie Sanders, you can't doubt the sincerity of him, right? There's a reason why he is consistently the most popular politician in America, and it's because he means what he says, and that's evident, right? When he's trying to be a little bit, I don't know, I guess coy about his real beliefs, it comes through. So there is value in authenticity, and that's because we're lacking it in politics. And when you see somebody who's actually authentic...
I mean, honestly, I think whatever shred of honesty, was in politics, I think probably died at... I mean, at least for me, I'd probably argue either with JFK or Carter. Probably Carter, but, honestly, it most certainly was dying once JFK, wasn't president anymore. Because, I mean, he was at least, like, somebody who was at least still somewhat honest and actually, was... not outright like, a terrible president, so to speak. I mean, he was somebody back in the fucking 60s, was, an advocate of, universal health care at that time. Next time, I'm gonna speak up. Well, yeah, honestly, I mean, at this point, I would too. And, oh man, dude, honestly, okay, never mind. Yeah, there's a part of me that'd be like, man, to call him out on his bullshit while that, at the same time. Ooh, lordy. But that would stir a major hornet's nest, so don't do that. Don't call him out on his stuff. Just fucking, just, you gotta at least, that shit definitely needs to fucking, like, be knocked out, though.
I mean, Trump is not the best example. He lies every 2 seconds, but there's something authentic about him that isn't applicable to other Republicans. I mean, compare him with Ron DeSantis. Everything that Ron DeSantis says feels rehearsed and phony and contrived. But with regard to Donald Trump, even though he's lying, he still says things that we know he's really thinking. Like, he says the quiet part loud, and that's part of the appeal for Republicans. So if we had politicians that actually wanted to run for pure reasons and not selfish reasons, I think that the country would be in a better place. But having said that, though, that doesn't mean that all of our problems would be solved, right? It's not a supply issue, it's the institutions. The institutions are the problem. Capitalism is the problem. We've commodified every single aspect of American life, including elections. So if you want to get elected, you essentially have to pledge fealty to large multinational corporations. Otherwise, good luck getting elected, because that requires money. And trying to raise money using small grassroots donors is very difficult. I would know. I've brought on probably more than 100 politicians who've tried doing it, and just a couple of them have gotten elected.
I mean, honestly, I mean, if anything, a lot of them, or should I be like, no one asked you, you Christian fascist? I mean, I'd just go for the latter, frankly. Don't go in there with, like, if I wanted it, I'd beat it out of you, because then he's going to take that as a, quote, threat. But if, like, being like, no one asked you, Christian fascist, or whatever, some shit like that, like, I mean, frankly, that would at least not be seen as a threat in his head. So I'd just be like, no one asked you, dumb fuck. Just like, no one asked you about your stupid fucking opinions that don't mean shit, outside of your own fucking weird insecurities about it.
We're in a situation where I feel like, as
it's like, quit being a goddamn crybaby about it, you bitch. Like, I mean, if you're such a macho man, like, then fucking shut up about it, like, take a stride knowing it exists, but it can't fucking, hurt you, and it can't fucking do shit to you because you're bigger and better than it or some shit. Like, you can quit being a pussy. I want him to give me an excuse somehow. Well, let him egg it on. Don't egg it on for him.
As so many crises get worse, I'm willing to try different things. And if that means running one celebrity, one comedian, I'm for it if it's Jon Stewart. But for anyone else,
stop being a pussy. Well, I mean, I'm not saying what I was saying, to you. I mean, I'm saying that, like, as the way what you should tell him. Because honestly, it's not even really, that you're being, quote, a pussy about it. It's just like you never really have had, like, a sense of, like, feeling, empowered to try to tackle a motherfucker like that, because he's basically have taken the reins, of, like, the household and the authority for so fucking long. But now that there's kind of, like, an out of this, and you have at least, people like me, and other friends around that are at least, kind of empowering you. But this type of shit is kind of giving you a sense of, like, yeah, I do have a fucking control over this. It's not really that you've been a pussy about it. It's just that you didn't really realize the power that you have in you. Which is what I keep telling you. It's like, whenever I say that you're better than that and shit like that, it's because you are. It's like, you got a little fucking spunk in there. It's come out in the past. Different stories you've told me in the, about your past and shit shows that it can. And it has been out in the, before. So, just need tapping into it.
I won't make that exception for them, because I think that Jon Stewart is unique in the sense that he really does care about these things, and he is.
I got no fight, bro. Despite the fact that in the past you have. And frankly, it sounds like, you got a little bit of a fight because you want to kind of, say something to them, which do it, Like, because he needs someone to fucking step up to his ass a little bit. You know, even if it isn't necessarily like a little, like, you know, cracking of the knuckle type of thing, just be like, no one fucking asked you, you shit. It's like, quit being a bitch about it and whining about it all the time, you fucking snowflake. Like, someone, you know, someone needs to verbally, you know, put him in his place at least a little bit. If anything, considering he hasn't had him for such a long time, you know, with that type of shit, he'd probably be like, what the fuck? He'd probably be like a deer in headlights for a second.
Is able to speak about these things in a way that makes them easily digestible. But any other politician or any other celebrity that wants to become a politician, no. I'll write it off almost immediately because I don't want somebody to get involved because they can. They have fame and name recognition, therefore they could become a member of Congress or a president. I want them to get involved if they actually want to fix the fucking issues that plague the country.
No shit. Which is why, I mean, sadly, Jon Stewart wouldn't, but that's why I think you should, you know, try to run for president, because I think you probably could have a chance. And shit, have Bernie be VP, you know, to, you know, a Stewart Sanders, you know, ticket. Dude, that'd be pretty fucking dope. Or vice versa. You know, like, Bernie's like, Jon Stewart, I want you to be my vice president. Hi, puppy. What's up, puppy? What's up, Goofy? Maybe make all the power concentrated in a single throne, and that throne I shall watch over you. How about we just let that throne, you know, be given to TJ? Because he seems to be all about, like, you know, becoming king and stuff like that. And considering, you know, he got nothing else to lose, fuck it. I want to be Space Stalin. Well, you don't get to be that. Nobody is going to be that. Because you can't, we've pretty much aren't really, you know, like, outright doing shit like that anytime soon. So. Sooks. You're shit, you know that? You're just a goddamn turd. A damn little turd. Nerve stapling on a lesser race? Oh my god, dude, what the fuck? Really? You're gonna be that fucking psycho nut? Aye. I don't want to deal with pop happiness. What? Why not? Like, wouldn't you want your people to be happy? It's not even that hard to fucking manage. Like, it's not hard at all. Like, what? Just set up, like, entertainment theaters and stuff like that every now and then. You're Gucci. Like, I mean, it's not that fucking hard. Are you serious? Not be happy. Well, dumb. Utterly dumb. Like, how's that? Like, you basically just have capitalism with a few extra steps, you nub. Which is basically what Stalin was. He was more of like a fucking, like, state capitalist fucking freak, more so than an actual quote-unquote communist. So it's like, how's that any better? Huh. It looks like the Chinook is starting to make its rounds into the rivers as spring is coming along. This fella caught himself a Chinook. Look at that bad boy. Look at that big old fish. That looks like some good eating right there. Yeah, it looks like some good eating. Oh, looks like there's like, you know, I could just see, you know, the fillet being made up right there. That's gonna make some fine fillets. Some fine, tasty fillets right there. I don't really like fish, to be honest. I'm not the biggest fan of fish, but Chinook, salmon, tuna, tapika. You know, like, honestly, there's some different fish that I do generally like. Yeah, Chinook is some real good stuff. If you get, like, a little bit of, like, a little lemon pepper, a little bit of salt and pepper with some rosemary on, you know, some salmon. Oh, that is so delicious. It legitimately really is. I mean, just plain fish, like it with no seasonings on it, it's kind of eh. But if you get it nice and seasoned, oh man, it is really good. Because it really just exemplifies a lot of that flavor. Catfish is especially gross. I really want catfish. And slimy, dude, fish, if you're cooking fish, it should not be slimy. What the fuck? It should be kind of like fluffy. Dude, what the dude, you probably just have really bad fish in the past. It should not be slimy. What the fuck? Slimy? That's not how, like, a fillet of fish being cooked and given to you as a dish. That is exactly the opposite of what I want described to me. Like, I do not want it being quote-unquote slimy. Is Captain D's or Long John Silver's? Well, that explains everything. Holy shit, you have never had good, proper fucking seafood. Oh god, McDonald's! Ugh! Dude, that is just repulsive. No wonder, dude. No wonder you don't like fish. You literally have never had good quality fish. I mean, that's the problem. Ugh. Dude, this is making me feel sick again. Ugh. Dude, I was just feeling real good about looking at that fucking Chinook, and then you're just making me feel bleh. Yeah, I would hate it too if that's all I had for fish. God. Dude, you gotta come up here, because, like, seafood around up here and fish and stuff like that is legitimately good quality. Like, it's good stuff. That's why I'm just, like, kind of mouth-watering at that fucking Chinook right there, because, like, that right there is some quality good eating. Like, fresh caught fish, like, you know, freshly filleted and everything, that is some good shit right there. I mean, you know, and so that's what I'm saying, dude. That fish right there is going to be some good eating. Mix a shrimp and sushi into rice, and I have to pick it out. You don't like sushi? Oh, dude. Oh, what the fuck? Dude, it's not proper sushi. You're saying Chinese place, so I'm assuming that's not, like, the sushi's Japanese. So it just sounds like an Americanized Asian/Chinese, like, restaurant. Like, oh my god. Dude, you just have not had, like, good, like, quality. Like, Alabama's just, like, got horrible fucking quality food, doesn't? Holy fuck, man. Bruh. You got... Dude, Arizona, like, even, like, I guarantee you, like, especially when it comes to seafood stuff, it's probably gonna be worse. It's way too inland. Don't try it there. But, dude, like, everything else about Arizona food quality-wise is gonna be so much better, okay, bro? Mexican food, and that's everywhere. Well, at least in Arizona, it's not gonna be any different. And also, Mexican food is all over the place here, too. Like, it's literally everywhere. So, it's the same thing here as well. So, I mean, you know, like... But you just haven't had, like, good quality, you know, like, stuff. Like, I mean, outside of the Mexican food, I mean, that sounds like, I mean, it seems like it varies, but, I mean, at least that is, like, you know, some of quality, because it's everywhere. You're bound to at least get some really good quality stuff, you know, scattered in between things. And I imagine most shit's okay, at the very least. Looking forward to trying In-N-Out Burger. Yeah, that will be good. I've never had it myself, either. And getting to try Whataburger for the first time since I was a kid. Oh man. Every time I visited my family in Texas, I've always made a pilgrimage to the Whataburger. Always. Because it's, like, for a fast food burger, like, it legitimately is actually, like, quality. I mean, it's not, like, amazing. It's not, like, you know, it's the fine dining type of shit. But it's at least, like, equivocal if you were going to, like, some, like, 1950s aesthetic, like, diner or some shit. It'd be, like, equivocal, too, about that, honestly. At least in my mind. Because I've been to, like, little burger diners before, and it's about relatively the same quality. You know, so, I don't know. Like, I mean, they're legitimately not bad. They've gone downhill in the last decade. I've only been to it in the last decade, so if that's the case, they must still be good. The last time I was there was, like, in 2021, and before that was 2019, or, like, about 2018, I think. Somewhere around there. So, basically, before and after COVID, in both times, it was good. So that's some corporate entity in Chicago. Oh, well. Well, that would explain it, but I guess when it comes to, like, quality control, I mean, I suppose it's at least still decent. Hey! Shut up! Ho? What a goofy dog. Last time I went to Whataburger was 04 when my we poured ashes in grandpa's grave. A small hole had formed that led down to the coffin, and while I'm not spiritual, that was cool. Huh. I'm assuming maybe that hole probably was, if I had to take a random guess, maybe like, you know, some sort of like, you know, prairie dog or squirrel or some shit. Or maybe somebody planted something and then uprooted it. That could also be a possibility. And just left a hole. But, you know, honestly, either way, that is, you know, pretty nice, actually, in a way. Because, you know, plopping it, you know, kind of, you know, pouring it in there and then, like, kind of covering it up a little bit. That, in a way, that's all, it's kind of like a nice little sense of solace. But my mom had taken it as a spiritual sign. They were meant to be together forever. Well, I mean, you know, yeah, that's why I say. There's kind of like a sense of solace with it. Jesus Christ. I'm straight up, like, on the homepage of Reddit, and, like, literally everything is pretty much NSFW. Staff advertised being severely bad, something like, Jesus Christ. Intelligent design my ass, nature's full of dumb shit like this. I don't even know what it is, it ain't showing it. Like, it's like, Jesus Christ. So many random, just absurdities. Ay, Dios mío. Harmless, and I let her slide, but I'm afraid unload on stepdad without accidentally offending her. That is kind of tricky. Because, I mean, yeah. Tome of goat fucker tales. Oh my god. I mean, it ain't. I mean, yeah. I mean, you're wrong though. I would probably, you know, maybe just let your mom know, be like, hey, I might go off about stepdad's, like, religious bullshit, because he's just so toxic about it, so if there's something that you probably might take offense to, just know that it's not at you or your beliefs or anything, it's at him. I think she might understand. She'll probably want you to kind of take it down a notch, you know, and tell you that later, but, you know, I mean, she might understand it at least. So, I don't know. I mean, I feel like if, you know, if you let her know, it's like, I might pop off about at least the religious part, but it ain't at you or targeted at you and your beliefs, you know. I think she'll at least kind of get it. What? What? And the empowering kind of socialistic stuff in the Bible. Well, your granddad, your stepdad doesn't. So, I think targeting all the shit about, like, his oppressive nature, his, like, views on women, and like, you know, the elements about that in the Bible and shit. Which obviously her mom isn't necessarily fond, you know, of those ideas and shit. Again, I think she might at least understand it. What? What? Last night before you left, you popped off about trans people again. Seeing the LGBT mafia. Into mafia. Let's have the right to dictate reality, only God does. Well, too bad. Because I'll dictate what, if I had my way, I'll be dictating everything about his motherfucking life. Get some Al Capone level shit going on up in his ass. Oh. He said he would stand for his president if they arrest him. Yeah, like what the fuck is he gonna do in bumblefuck Alabama? What, drive up to like goddamn New York himself? What the fuck is he gonna do? And frankly, all in all, you could just, like, you know, report him if he just suddenly disappeared, if that's the case. He'd be like, yeah, there might be, like, you know, someone who may commit some, you know, some violent actions. Notice there's a few firearms missing, and, you know, his truck's been missing for a few days. Might be making his way to fucking NYC or DC or wherever the fuck he's going. He doesn't have firearms suitable for that. Well, I mean, it's like, well, that's my point. Like, what the fuck is he gonna do? Yes, might be the lever action. Well, I wouldn't necessarily put it past him to maybe hide, you know, a rifle, you know, maybe. But honestly, he probably would take it. I mean, you know, try to strut up there like some Confederate cowboy, little macho fuck or something. So, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily be that surprised. Man, definitely feeling a lot more better now, but stomach still feels odd. As it slowly but surely stretches itself. I don't know, dude. I'm not. I really ain't. Just, ugh.
Puppy dog! Seems like Daddy's feeling better.
Yeah.
Because usually when Daddy feels like shit, he doesn't even come in the room as much.
Were you off work already?
Yeah, I got it, bro. I'm just sitting in my room for 20 minutes.
Yeah, I'm about to head up there pretty soon myself. Oh, I work
You're
today.
actually good, huh?
Oh, I work today.
You're gonna work today?
Well, I mean, I'm scheduled. I went up there saying, you know, should be okay enough, and I feel like I am. I've just been slowly but surely eating my fruits and my parfait and stuff, and feeling better, so. I'm just gonna take it easy. I know, I got a motto in there, so. With him working there,
With him working, he'll let you do, basically take it easy.
Yeah.
Puppy dog!
I'll probably at least, you know, just kind of just take it easy all in all.
I mean, if you fucking start feeling like shit, you come back home.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, I could just see about working these next couple days, you know, but I don't know. I'll see.
You gotta realize this, if you just stay home today, did you already call in?
Well, I went up there, checked out, and I was letting them know I was feeling a little better, and I should be able to be okay. And they're like, yeah, well, come in later or something like that, you know, or you can freak out about it, you know, it's all good. So.
Well, you're supposed to work at 2?
3, but, yeah. Like I said, I'm not really too worried about it right now. I have at least an excuse to kind of, you know, take my time. Just call out and keep streaming.
I didn't see you last night at all. You didn't come over and see Uncle.
It's a little baby.
Usually every time I come home, you usually meet me.
Yeah.
But no, you was certain thing.
Well, he was hanging out with me because I was knocked out. Fucking. It levels like shit to the wind. Apply for a right to work. Oregon isn't even one of those states. And also, fuck right to work. That's just right to work for less. It doesn't actually, like, mean what it means. So. Nah. Nah. Here. Let's get like one more little thing that I can check out, or yes, no, maybe so. Eh, guess not. Eh, whatever. I'm just a bit kind of like, you know, checking out to see if there's like actually anything gonna happen with that whole jumper wrestling, but it looks like not really at all. Eh, go figure. Go figure. Banus? Still waiting for the break. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like, I'm seeing if there's at least, like, something, but nope. At least nothing yet. I just realized, did I miss onion nuggets last night, or did they wait until today? Hold on, I'm gonna go. So I was basically just like knocked all the way out from yesterday. So due to my food poisoning, because that's always just so exceptionally fun. Oh no, yeah, it looks like it is later today actually. And then yeah, they're going live at 5 like they usually do. Cool. Cool. You have a notification on for that. Followed. Man, I still feel like I'm in recovery mode from these big-brained ideas. These big-brained heightened. Of course I dropped. I dropped a thing, goddammit. Found spots of country you like? Okay. Ugh. Okay, yeah, that was empty. Go to things. Can't wait to be in a legal state. So what to do what I'm doing. Getting everything all meshed together in one nice little jar. Having a whole ritualistic process. So tired to have buzz and THCO and Delta 8 gives. Well, I'd probably just have a higher tolerance to it now at this point. Also, I mean, like, it'd probably give me a full-on buzz, you know, if I was, you know, to try some. And right now, I will admit, like, just because I haven't smoked once yesterday, and kind of wake and bacon a little bit, I'll admit, definitely more toastier than I normally would be. I've also been reading that THC has slight addiction potential. Well, it's not, you know, your traditional THC where, you know, it's outright created, you know, from the plant itself. You know, it's been like, you know, like synthesized in a way where there's like additives and shit. Yeah, because there's additives and stuff that are used to create it. Yeah. So it has some more likely for potential like consequences or addictive potentials. Or it might be a little different. It's not as bad as, say, spice. Well, yeah, dude, spice is like a totally different thing. Like, it's not even actual weed. Like, it's not cannabis at all. It's like some other thing. And that shit will fuck you up. Like, that's some not good shit. Like, I've heard some pretty bad stories about it. So, it's like, that's... And luckily, from my understanding, it's like it's very fucking rare. Plant material sprayed with chemicals. Yeah, pretty much, yeah. And luckily, from, you know, like I said, from my understanding, like, spice is not as common anymore, just because marijuana is just, like, even in illegal states, it's pretty common and easily accessible if you really want to go find some. So, I mean, all in all, like, I mean, luckily, from my understanding, spice isn't really, like, that big of a thing anymore. But, I mean, it's definitely still something to, you know, be careful about. But he just crystallized his lungs on that stuff. Ugh. Crystallized the lungs. Has trouble to his day breathing because of it. Well, yeah. I imagine some shit like that probably would. Ugh. That's what results. Yeah. Thanks, Prohibition. Thanks, Prohibition, for fucking people's lives up way more than the actual drugs. Especially if you actually properly regulated them. See, that's why I'm just about like the legalize, taxate, and regulate all drugs, especially the regulate part, because frankly, prohibition has done more negative consequence to people's lives, more so than, an actual, process of legalized, tax, and regulated, substance use, or it comes to, it being available. Because especially considering what substances, are around, or are at least accessible, obviously we could regulate and restrict how accessible it is. Like, for example, like marijuana, like how it is now, just dispensaries, that are 21 and up that you can go to, unless you have a medical card, or, otherwise and shit. Like, honestly, all in all, that's, that I think that should be fine. And also when it comes to, like, psilocybin, I think, I can understand maybe have something similar to that, maybe like interwoven into dispensaries, but I can understand maybe having it a little bit more stricter. For certain things like, cocaine or heroin and shit like that, have like specialized clinics where you have, where you can go take it there. And you have like actual medical professionals to help you in case, something negative may happen. And also have, like, resources available, towards things like recovery and treatment and shit for people that are, addicted as well and shit like that. I think Mom can be brought around to our way of thinking if she heard someone she respected saying it, instead of us, who I think should regard as somewhat naive. Well, sure. And luckily, I mean, the reason why I have a lot of positions that I do is because of, legitimately respected, researchers on the topic. I'm forgetting his name right off the top of my head, but he's like this British guy that is actually pretty cool. And it talks about, like, a lot about drug legalization and shit. He was on Joe Rogan, funny enough, so I found out about him. Here, let me see if I can find his name. Alright, let's see. See if we can find the right guy. Man, I'm not finding it. God damn it. Yeah. If it comes back to me, I'll be able to find it at some point. She made it to me. She has a hard time treating you. Think she's the same problem with people our age in general, but I think that just comes with age. Well, I think that just is kind of like this whole, like, oh, respect your elders, we're holier than thou type of thing, even though, especially young people tend to, these days, have a lot more of a sense, like, of understanding about how the current reality is, and there's just kind of like the sense of like, oh, well, you haven't actually grown up in it yet, like I have, or whatever the fuck, even though it's like, I mean, kind of bullshit. She's coming from a bad place. Well, yeah. I mean, it comes from different places with different people. It still kind of has the same kind of condescending idea of, like, oh, we know better. But it's, she's just, like, somebody that obviously, kind of means well fit. I mean, my mom's kind of the same way, honestly. I don't really take it, totally against her and shit. I think it's just some boomer brain rot. Well, yeah. She always says she's ashamed of her hippie generation. That's the word that changed the world and became neocons. I mean, I tend to kind of agree, honestly. Like, I feel like a lot of the, hippie movement either became, like, the neocons and shit, or, like, the whole, like, Jesus Revolution hippie types and shit, where they, like, worked with the conservatives and pastors and theocrats, and you got, like, basically that kind of just, like, blended into, like, Reaganistic, fucking conservatism at the time. And then, for the ones that, try to keep, trying to push, for a better world, they basically just kind of capitulated. They just kind of gotten beaten down to the point they just somewhat gave up. And for the ones that kept fighting, they were just few and far in between at that point. So honestly, I don't even disagree with her. It's not like a fault to the hippies that are still going strong now. They tried. And in a way, probably still are to an extent, but, I mean, shit, like I said, few and far in between. I am happy to say she is proud of how politically aware we are. Well, yeah, and I think, honestly, she kind of sees a little optimism about, like, the fact that we are like that. Because if she's kind of ashamed of how the hippie generation and, the hippie movement and civil rights movement swore to change the world, but just kind of capitulated, essentially, over time, she kind of, I think, has, she sees the same potential that her generation had, and is starting to kind of spark back up again. I mean, so... And honestly, even my mom kind of, is like the same way. She might still be somewhat kind of conservative leaning, but she, always kind of likes to mention that, like, oh yeah, my son's, definitely, kind of a radical type. He wants to be one to try to, advocate for a better world and stuff. And I'm like, well, I mean, it's vague as you put it. I mean, yeah, at least you like it, I guess. I think it's because she saw a little, I think how, your mom is a little bit. I think my mom sees a little bit the same thing in me. And also just noticing that I'm, a lot more mature about it as well in comparison to how I was in the past. So I think she kind of also understands that, like, it comes from a lot more of a sincere place outside of, like, young adult spite or angst or whatever, That says your generation can't pull its nose out of Tic Tac, let alone to change the world. I mean, honestly, that could be said the same for him and his, generation too, being stuck on fucking Facebook all goddamn day, boasting about how they jerk off all the time. Going on E621 on your fucking phone, you freak. The thing is, I go on E621 on my phone. I literally have, like, 30 fucking tabs on my Chrome, and the first, like, 2 of them are, like, one is E621, another one's, like, the hub, you know what I mean? Like... I hide those fuckers way up there and shit, because whenever I do go on Chrome, it's like, I make sure they're, like, way the fuck hidden. So, if we're checking out stuff, it's like, it doesn't accidentally pop up. And everything in between is literally just different things I go shopping on, like PSA's on there, like a few other fucking, websites that I go to for, like, gun parts and shit like that are on there. So, like, I have, like, I got it in, like... in sections. I got, like, the porn section way at the top where we're never going. Then we got, like, all my, shopping needs in the middle section where, whatever, if it pops up. And then at the very bottom is usually stuff we might check out. He's pairing Trump to Bill Clinton right now, saying if Bill can get away with Monica, then Trump can pass with Stormy. Oh my god. You know what? Honestly, I don't know if I disagree. Because thing is, until I see it with my own fucking eyes, I don't know, if we're gonna see Trump being arrested today. MAGA fans don't show for Trump. Well, okay, wow. I just was having to kind of scroll down a little bit, and I guess TYT's live. But...
Wrapping the long-standing policy of strategic ambiguity is the safest way to deter...
Okay, they're talking about... Oh, shit. Did they get into the... whatever the fuck? I guess, maybe, I guess? No, they're just talking about the... meet that Xi and Putin had, I guess. But... yeah, I mean, I guess their fans aren't showing up. Charges they're trying to get this kind of bullshit because it's all technical circumstances. Well, it's basically just an excuse to, you know, have a little bit more, you know, kind of like partisan fucking back and forth bullshit. And this could backfire hugely. Hugely! I kind of agree, honestly. I do feel like this type of shit can't backfire, considering over what it is. Like, what, because hush money to a fucking prostitute? I mean, it's like... I mean, I guess if it does work, it'd basically be the same level of, like, Al Capone getting hit with tax fraud, considering the shit he did, right? You know, so it's just like... And I feel like it's a fair analogy, because, I mean, like Capone, Trump is like a fucking mafioso mob boss type. Not to the same level, obviously, you know, but still, operates like one. And she says it's not illegal to pay a hooker to stay quiet. I think it's more about the intent and maybe, like, in the sense that it could be used as blackmail. I don't know, like, because I don't know all the specifics about it. Obviously, your mom does, you know, so I'm not going to, like, say one way or the other, you know, about it. But, again, I don't know, you know. If it happens and somehow works out, I mean, I think it's just going to add more, you know, like, radicalization, especially to the right. But you have to prove it? Well, yeah. And considering Trump, like, good luck trying to prove it, you know, and get it out of him. I mean, you could with everybody else around him, especially considering how much you'd be denying his shit, but, hey, like, I don't know, dude. Quid pro quo. Yep. Yeah. Quid pro quo is another major part of it, too. See, and that's why, I don't know. That's why I'll believe it when I see it, considering the shit that is, you know, supposedly being, you know, claimed. Which also Trump was the one who said it. Like, it wasn't like some sort of attorney general or like a, you know, a police department captain or something. It was Trump himself that says, I might get arrested Tuesday. So it's like, why should we believe him? You know, so it's just like, either way, this all could just literally be like a psyop bullshit thing for Trump to just rabble-rouse some of his base and just kind of like add a little bit more chaos to the midst of things. You know, like, and just kind of keep eyes and ears on him about, like, oh, yes, I'm being wrongfully convicted, blah, 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 blah. So, I don't know. If I was going to arrest him, I'd change it from Tuesday to throw the MAGA chuds off. I guess, but I don't know. I guess it's kind of hard to tell right now. Because we're just kind of left in a limbo concurrently. Now, frankly, it might just stay limbo. We might not get fucking anything at all out of it. So. And also, they keep that shit extremely need-to-know basis. Yeah. I mean, you know, like I said, we're all just kind of left in limbo, so we all don't know what's really going to happen, I guess, concurrently. And frankly, I just don't think anything will. Outside of maybe some MAGA chuds, you know, getting a little rap-a-rousey, but even then, not a lot of them are showing up. And in fact, there was a decent chunk of them that said, don't do anything violent if you do end up showing up, because, you know, we don't want to be seen as, like, insurrectionists again. We don't, you know, like, they're already trying to set the narrative of, like, if violence does happen on our side of things, we're going to deflect it and say that it wasn't us. Just like they did on the 6th. So, you know, like, so if anything does happen with MAGA protesters and shit like that, you know, like, they've already kind of set in stone, like, you know, we're going to deflect anything that, you know, makes us look bad. Now, granted, they could just, you know, stay peaceful, and they probably will, who knows. Has secret police. Don't make me secret police. Make me something else. Everyone else will be below you. Make me like some sort of like policy like maker or something. Let me be like the head of the council where I'm like, alright, I get to fucking, you know, have the last say about policy and shit. Boom. I think you could be my barrier. I do not want to even be remotely closely affiliated with a fucker like that. Do not put his name anywhere near me like that. No. Okay, now especially no. I'm sure you know about that fucker. And hell no. Not happening. Just no kids? No. No. Just no. Oh my god. Alright, well, I'm gonna go to work. I feel like, you know... I've recovered enough. But now I got recovered from this hit. Goddamn. Stay. I gotta show up at some point. You know I'll be back. Anyway. Good lord. Want to continue this? No, I sure shit am. I'm sure shit ain't. So, anyway, I gotta get up there at some point, so I'll be back later anyway. So, anyway. Peace out for now. I'll see you all in that next one.